everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we are going to be going over how to make a classic granny square. These are super duper fun. They're very great for beginners and they're very versatile. You can make a lot of things out of granny squares, like bags, purses, blankets even, and yeah, the list goes on. So the materials you need today will be some scissors and a darning needle to weave in your ends, and then a crochet hook. I will be using a size 6.5 or a size K because I like a chunkier granny square and a more relaxed grip. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, and you also need some yarn, obviously. Alright, so starting off, we're going to make a magic circle. If you've never made one before, it's super easy. I just hold it in my fingers like this, with the yarn tail in the front, and then loop around over so the yarn tail is still in the front and the working yarn is in the back, and then go under the first yarn and then over the second and twist as you come up. And then I reach back here to grab the yarn, and it can be tricky sometimes when you get here, but just kind of manipulate it until it comes through. And as you can see, my hook slipped off, but that's okay. And then I give it a little tug to make it more secure. So in order to go up to the height of our double crochets, you want to chain 2. And this essentially acts as simply the height bringer. So it's gonna be like a known knot counted in what we're doing. And now you wanna hold your magic circle like this, or I like to hold mine like this to work into. In order to do a double crochet, you yarn over first, and then I insert into the middle of the ring, making sure I go over both of these 2 pieces of yarn. Now I have 3 on my hook, yarn over again, and just pull through those first 2, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2. And we'll do that 2 more times. So yarn over, insert, come up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and where'd it go? Last time, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over and pulling through 2. So this is our first cluster, and you can move these around, which is really nice and fun. And now that we have these, in order to make it go into a square better, we do a chain, and then we start our next cluster. So yarning over and doing 3 double crochets into the circle. Okay, now that we have 2 clusters of 3, we are halfway done. All we have to do is chain and do 2 more sets of 3. Now that we've reached the end, you're going to want to pull this little yarn tail tight, and that just closes our magic circle. It may take a little extra tug to make sure that it's all the way down, but right now it looks like a circle. And then as we start crocheting around, it will expand into a square, which is really cool. So I'm going to be switching colors as I work into my next round. When you're working into your next round, in order to close off your granny square each round, you're going to want to half double crochet into that first double crochet that we have right here. So this is our chain 2, and then we have our double crochet here, and I'm just inserting into that V and then pulling through and stopping when I have 3 loops on my hook. And if you were not going to change color, then you would just yarn over and pull through all 3. And you'd be ready to go. But since we are changing color, you just want to yarn over and leave it at 3 on your hook, get your next color. I like to leave a pretty generous yarn tail. I attach like this and hold it as I pull through, and there you go. Then I like to chain 2 and turn your work, if I could get this to cooperate. So 1, 2, hello, and turn. Now this can be a little tricky at first. You got to bring your 2 yarn ends over here, and we're going to be working into this chain 1 space here and doing 3 double crochets in here, just like this. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're not actually going to be doing a chain in between this next cluster that will be going into the next corner. And what I like to do now is go ahead and cut off my second color. That way it's not in my way anymore. And then the fun fact about granny squares is it's very easy to hide your yarn tails. So I just like to do a little knot right here, and you can do as many as you feel comfortable with. I just do 2. And then you can either go ahead and cut it off now, or you could wait till the end and weave it in. I like to weave them in at the end just to make sure it's a little extra secure, but you're welcome to leave a nice allowance, I would guess you say, here, and then cut it off. It just will not be as secure. So continuing into our next corner, you can tell that it is the chain 1 because you can see the chain right here, and because it's a lot more space than it is between the double crochets. Now we're just going to work 2 sets of the 3 clusters into this corner with a chain in between. So 3 double crochets, and then chain 1 since it's the foundation corner, the second row corner. All the corners will have 2 clusters of the 3 crochets. So now we do another 3 crochets, 3 double crochets into the corner. And then now that we've done it in this corner, we're going to do it in the next 2 corners, and then when we get here we're going to do just 1 cluster of 3 because we already have one of the clusters there. So just to confirm, you only do the chain 1 in between clusters in the corner, but when you're just going from corner to corner, you don't want to chain 1. You just want to double crochet right into the next one. So now that we have the 3 clusters in this final corner, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the first row to connect to the second row. go ahead and yarn over and half double crochet, but stop once you have 3 loops on your hook. If you want to change color again, then you would connect your new yarn, and if not, then you can just continue with your same color. So here I have my next color yarn, and I'm just attaching it like this, and then going to chain 2 once I get it in order, and then turning my work. So now I have these, where did it go? Here it is. These two yarn tails that I'm going to hold in this corner while I do 3 double crochets over both of them. Okay, so now that we have those first 3 double crochets, I'm going to go ahead and tie off and cut my yarn tail from my previous color, and then tie my 2 yarns together. And then leave those be. So now, as you can see, we have an extra little hole right here to fill up. So we're gonna just double crochet right in there, and we're only gonna put 3 just like normal. So we're going to 3 double crochet, and then when we get to the corner, we will do 2 groups of 3 double crochets with the chain in the middle. Again after the corner with this hole in the middle, and just double crochet straight into it. So now that we are back at our beginning corner, we are going to double crochet 3 times into here, and then continue with our next row into the top of the first double crochet like we have for the past 2 rounds. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook into that first V, yarn over again, pull through and stop. I am going to switch back to this color real quick. Alrighty, So now I will connect my color like so, and still not getting used to that. Chain 2, and turn my work, grab these 2 tails and bring them over, and then do 3 double crochets into this corner. Okay, so now as you can see, we have 2 more holes than we did the last time, and we're just gonna do what we did the last time and single crochet straight into there 3 times, or no, double crochet into there 3 times, and then don't chain, double crochet 3 times, and then 2 clusters of double crochets that two clusters of 3 double crochets with the chain in the middle, and we're gonna repeat that all the way around the edge until we get back to the beginning. so now we'll be working into the final row. So we're gonna half double crochet into the first one and join our last color, or continue in the same color if that's what you're doing. And then chain 2 and turn your work, and then bring over these 2 yarn ends, and then all we're going to do is the same thing that we've been doing, which is 3 double crochets right here, and then 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then the corners will be like normal, 2 clusters of the 3 double crochets with the chain in between. Okay, so now instead of half double crocheting into your last stitch, we are going to cut the yarn. And then pull this through and attach this to our darning needle. And then we're going to find the first double crochet and put our needle through both, like through the V where your hook would typically go, and pull through, and then put it back through the V that we were just at. I don't know if that makes sense, but you put it through that V and pull it, and that makes a seamless edge. That way you can't tell where you fastened off. And then we're going to weave this in while we already have it on our hook, or on our needle, I should say. And there's really no wrong way to weave in an end. I just like to take it down one edge and then bring it back, but go a little farther the next way. And there you go. So now we are just going to go ahead and tackle the rest of these ends. I like to put them both on my needle and then take them one way. So it'll take a couple minutes, but it is definitely worth it to go ahead and do it while you're making your granny squares instead of saving it for the end of your big project. In case you're wondering what I do with my yarn tails, I just put them back through this corner like this, and then give it a little tug. That way it already has some wiggle room, and then I just cut it right off. And there you go. You have your completed granny square. I hope you enjoyed making this and following my tutorial. Sorry if it was a little hard to follow along. This is my first full-length tutorial. But as you can see, they are very classic, very timeless, and since we worked flipping it from row to row, there is no right or wrong side of the granny square now. They're both the correct side, which is really fun and convenient. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments and what you're going to make out of these first. Thanks for watching!